Dude, it is literally wedged inside there. Let's see if we can get that thing out of there. Alright guys, in today's video I will be using a gun, and it's always important to keep safety first. As always, keep the gun pointed in a safe direction. Always keep your finger off the trigger until you are ready to shoot, and always keep the gun unloaded until you're ready to use it. Gun safety is very important. Always practice gun discipline. Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to a brand new video, and as you can probably tell by the title and the thumb, this is going to be a very different video compared to my previous ones. That's right, today we are going to be shooting Pokemon cards with real bullets. So before today's video even gets started, I want you guys to go in the comment section down below and tell me how many cards you think it's going to take to stop a bullet. So I literally had this huge box just full of Pokemon cards that I got from mom's house that I've just been collecting over the years. There is literally thousands and thousands of Pokemon cards in here. Just bags and boxes just full of Pokemon cards just like that. But we're not just going to line up a bunch of Pokemon cards and count them out the back. We're going to be shooting a different variety of different numbers of Pokemon cards. So we're going to start out just shooting one Pokemon card just to see what kind of damage it's going to do on one Pokemon card. And then we're going to bump it up to 60 Pokemon cards. And you guys that play TCG will know exactly why, because that is the standard number of cards in a deck. So we're going to see if even just a deck can withstand a bullet, but I highly doubt it. And then from 60 cards, we're going to try to go up for 100 each time. So 100, then 200, then 300. And we're just going to see how many it takes to stop a bullet. I think it's going to take about 300 more or less Pokemon cards for them to stop a bullet, but I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's go. So before we actually shoot any shells into any cards, we do have a little bit of info that we're going to use to kind of estimate how many cards it's going to take before we actually do it, so that we have a good idea of how many cards we need to stack up and just what to expect in the video. So Pokemon cards, like most cards, are measured in what is called points, or PT for short. Pokemon cards specifically are 35 points, so that's about 1 millimeter in like how thick it is. And knowing the thickness of the cards is going to give us a good idea of how many cards we're actually going to need to literally stop a bullet. These cards will be lined up and stacked together, creating more like surface area, a lot more places for the bullet's energy to disperse. So this will not be an accurate estimate. It'll be like just a rough estimate of what's going to happen or how many cards it should take to actually stop a bullet. In this video today, we'll be shooting my 32 Smith & Wesson long police positive pistol from like 1918. It's a 100-year-old gun, but still shoots like a brand new one. And our 32 shells will be Remington branded. And you may be thinking like, why does the brand matter? But apparently online, after some research, I did find out that different brand bullets have better quality on how far they can penetrate into something. And the Remington bullets, the ones that I have, will penetrate about 18 inches with these bullets. So 18 inches is about 457 millimeters. So that's about how many cards we're gonna need to stop a bullet, if this math is correct, or this estimate is anywhere near what we're looking at. I guessed 300, and that's not far off from 300 really, but it could be more or less. It just really depends on how the energy is dispersed throughout the cards, and if my rubber bands and my stuff can hold up through the test. And in this test, we'll be shooting one card and then 60 cards like I mentioned before, and then from there on we're gonna be putting 100 cards, then 200 cards, and 300 cards, just to see what the difference is in those numbers. If it does well on 60 cards and it doesn't make it through, we'll probably just put a bunch of cards together and just kind of see if we can find a part in the video where we can see where the bullet actually stops. Alright, so as you can see here, we have our first card. This is just one single card, just to see what kind of hole it's going to put in just one card by itself. So I've got the gun loaded, and we need to be very careful with this, but we got the Pokemon cards right here. I'll have another camera over there. You guys can see that right now. So basically we can shoot it. I can play it back in slow motion so you guys can see it up close. So up next we are shooting 60 cards. Let's see if they can stop a bullet. I think it's safe to say the answer was no. Oh yeah, you can definitely see where it went through these in the middle right here. All right guys, now this is the ultimate test. I have 500 cards here zip tied together in a big bundle. We're gonna see exactly how many it takes. This should be more than enough to stop a bullet, for sure, due to the math we did earlier. But let's go ahead and put it up on the post here and see how it does. All right, here goes nothing. Well, that was a mess. Dude, literally, most of these didn't get hit, so that's a pretty good sign. All right, so some of these cards were completely destroyed, while like others were just like bent a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just bent a little bit, man. These cards definitely do a better job than I thought they would when it comes to stopping bullets. There we go, I found some good ones now. There's a perfect hole in these cards. There's like at least a few cards here, at least 10 cards there with a perfect hole through the middle of them. Guys, you won't believe what I just found. The actual bullet is inside this card right here. Dude, it is literally wedged inside there. Let's see if we can get that thing out of there. All right, so that literally confirms that Pokemon cards can stop a bullet. We literally found it inside a bunch of cards. The only problem with this is that we don't know exactly how many cards it took to stop this bullet. Here is the slow-mo of the 60 cards, or the slow-mo that we could have got, but I'm just gonna keep playing it back and forth. But we can see here that the bullet did get through most of the cards, but we don't ever see the bullet actually exit out through the back. So that pretty much tells us already that a lot of cards will be bulletproof if you have enough of them stacked up behind each other, dispersing the energy evenly throughout the entire deck. Here we have 500 cards all together, zip tied together, and you can see that the bullet just goes so fast that we can't even see what happens. Everything just explodes all at once, but this was definitely enough to stop a bullet because most of the cards were not even damaged, not even bent or nothing. From both angles, you can kind of see that it wasn't doing too much damage. All right, guys, I am back in my room, and I was searching through the field, looking at all the cards that exploded, cleaning up the field for whatever, and I did find the original 60 cards we shot. Most of the cards are missing, except for the first few in the front of the deck. And from what I can tell, it looks like the bullet hit and then it didn't make it through the very back card. So we're gonna just kind of get an estimate of how many Pokemon cards it takes to stop a bullet, because this is as good as we're gonna get right now. All right, let's see how many cards it actually took to break this. First, we're gonna take off the rubber band here and just see one at a time, just like how many cards it actually took. I don't think the bullet's still inside here. The bullet might still be inside here like the other one we saw, but I don't know. I literally have no idea. And dude, I've got to count all these because I don't even know how many it is. But you can see the damage. It still went through in these last little bit of cards, but it just very little damage. So that was just 22 cards. So that, give it or take, means about 50 or 60 card deck is probably bulletproof. And that is with the gun that we shot, of course. But that's gonna be it. So what did you guys think? Leave a comment down below letting me know if it took more or less cards than you thought it was gonna take. I was at like 300 something for my guess, and that was like way off. So the math, I guess the math didn't hold up. I guess it just depends on like what you're shooting at. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.